there are two aspects of this announcement. One is on the civil aviation side, and the second is on the defense side. Over the last 15 years, there has been a significant exodus of MRO capabilities to neighboring countries. So on the civil aviation, Sri Lanka, Singapore, Malaysia, Dubai have been critical centers where all the Indian airlines have been going for the basic MRO, the base maintenance, the heavy checks, and de facto the engine and components happen with the OEM. On the defense side, it's something similar because traditionally it's the user along with the public sector organizations who have been focusing on doing the MRO. But since many of these platforms have been bought out from the foreign OEMs, the turnaround time, the serviceability parameters, and the most important, the cost becomes prohibitive. So there have been many conversations over the last 5 to 7 years on how India can actually develop an indigenous base on MRO, but not much was done because of 2 or 3 reasons. One was the basic taxation policy, which was not in favor of the whole MRO sector. The second was the focus, the investment appetite of any large group or a player in the country. And the third was the confidence of the airlines, the customer, that India can actually deliver and do a good job on serviceability and turnaround time. So I think what has changed in the last couple of years, all these 3 areas have been addressed. And thanks to Government of India, thanks to Ministry of Defense, Ministry of Civil Aviation, that the sector has started to move in a very positive way. And with our focus, 8 airports pan-India, there's a network out there on the civil aviation. On the defense, there's a significant push now from the customer. Don't talk about just the platform, talk about the life cycle cost. Yeah, this is the first time this language is being used and also being done as part of Buy Indian category. Buy Indian means show me localization. Yeah, show me indigenization of these capabilities. So I think there was a big gap. We felt this is a national need where Adani can step in, and that was the reason of making this strategic move, because one of the largest and the most competent capability was Airworks, which straddles across general aviation, it straddles across defense and also civil market. Has been serving the customers for the last 70 years. It has been working very closely with Boeing on the P8I program. It has been doing a lot of this 60% of general aviation market, the chartered planes, and also the 737s and others on the heavy checks. So beautiful asset. What the platform needed, what we heard from Anand, was the support of a large group just to take it to the next orbit. And that's a platform which Adani provides. And the intention is not just to focus on line and base maintenance, but I think the real value will come if we can give India its engine MRO, if we can bring components MRO within the country and move up the value chain. The enterprise value of the acquisition is 400 crores, and it's a 100% acquisition. And the current market in MRO on the civil side is $1.7 billion, the Indian market. On the defense side, the number is roughly $2.5 to $3 billion. It's difficult to say because part of it is done by Indian Defence Forces, part is done by DPSUs, and the part is directly done by the OEMs. We are literally looking at this market to become 3x by 2030. The number of civil aircrafts which are going to be inducted and the number of defense aircrafts we are discussing, and there's a bigger push now from, for example, Indian Air Force. I have a Mi-17 set up. Can I get some private efficiency? So this market is just going to explode. This is the turning point for the country. And to your point, this Airworks is one of the pillars of Adani's strategy, but this is not the end game. How do we work with the best OEMs and engines and convince them to bring the engine MRO to the country? Announcements have been done, but have people actually put the stick in the ground, the money in the ground? Not sure. How do we convince the likes of Raytheon and the UTC and the Collins to work along with some Indian partners on the component MRO? So, and whatever investment would be required, I think we are very, very committed to make it happen. If you look at the fundamentals of MRO between line and base maintenance, it has a huge manpower dependence. So this is not like a completely automated job. It's a job which is almost 50% manual labor. So today, Airworks already has 1,500 engineers and technicians for the top line it has. But the potential I'm talking about, this employment will be at least 4x in the next 2 years, just within the Airworks portfolio. And the larger Adani portfolio, we're talking about 10,000 jobs in the next 5 years, easily, or much more. Hosur, Kochi, and Mumbai are the locations for base maintenance. Other than this, there are 27 cities in which Airworks is present for line maintenance also. And the more important things are the 27 certifications and approvals which Airworks comes with. So the process itself is you need DGCA certification, you need EASA certification. These are global certifications, which actually allows you to take care of these planes in the Indian market. And getting that certification and retaining that certification is much more difficult than doing the actual job. So skilled manpower, yeah, approved certifications, a credible customer base, and partners like Boeing and Indian Navy, for example. And fourth, obviously, a head start into the MRO space. Fundamentally, energy and defense have been areas of significant imports for India as a country. Yeah. And we are seeing this in the current, the last 2 years in the COVID situation and otherwise also. So a lot of the oil which is coming from the outside world and the defense equipment contribute significantly to India's current account deficit. Yeah. The roadmap now, which has been defined with the 75th year of India's independence going to 2047, is a path of self-reliance. And Honorable Prime Minister has already declared his commitment to making India self-reliant in energy and also self-reliant in defense, which is very, very important. So the need of Atmanirbharta, which also got reinforced after seeing what happened in Russia and Ukraine, is move towards localization, is to de-risk your supply chain, is look a little bit more to secure your own assets and your own people before we completely go out. So there's a real need now which India has felt.